In our previous episode, we traced the decline of the Mauryan Empire, a colossal entity that once united the Indian subcontinent under Chandragupta Maurya's visionary leadership. However, centuries of internal dissent, weak rulers, and external threats had rendered this mighty empire a shadow of its former self. Brihadratha Maurya, the last emperor, struggled to hold together an empire that was slipping into chaos. This vulnerability set the stage for a dramatic upheaval. Enter Pushyamitra Shunga, the military commander who would go on to challenge the status quo and carve a new destiny for Bharatvarsha. But his rise to power would not come without bloodshed, sacrifice, and relentless ambition. The year was 185 BCE. Pushyamitra Shunga, a Brahman by birth, served as the Senapati, or commander-in-chief, of the Mauryan army. A brilliant strategist and a fierce warrior, Pushyamitra harbored deep resentment against the declining state of the Mauryan Empire. The once glorious empire, which had stood as a bastion of unity and prosperity, was now plagued by administrative corruption, economic stagnation, and the erosion of military discipline. Pushyamitra believed that the Kshatriya spirit, the warrior ethos, needed revival, and he saw himself as the one destined to lead this charge. Pushyamitra's frustration was shared by many in the military and among the provinces, where regional governors sought independence. The stage was set for rebellion, and all it needed was a spark. Pushyamitra's moment came during a ceremonial military review in 185 BCE. As Brihadratha presided over the parade, unaware of the plot against him, Pushyamitra made his move. In a swift and calculated act, he assassinated the emperor in full view of the gathered court and army. This bold coup was not just a transfer of power, it was a declaration of intent, the end of Mauryan rule and the beginning of the Shunga Dynasty. The assassination sent shockwaves across the subcontinent. While some provinces welcomed the end of Mauryan rule, others viewed Pushyamitra's actions as treachery. The new king had no time to revel in his triumph. His rule would be tested immediately. As the first ruler of the Shunga dynasty, Pushyamitra faced the monumental task of consolidating his power. The Indo-Greek invaders, sensing an opportunity in the Mauryan collapse, launched incursions into the western regions of India. Pushyamitra's response was swift and decisive. In a series of campaigns, Pushyamitra repelled the Indo-Greeks, reasserting Indian sovereignty over territories that had fallen under foreign control. His victories, especially in regions like Punjab and Sindh, were celebrated as triumphs of dharma over adharma, order over chaos. Pushyamitra's reign was not only marked by military achievements, but also by a cultural and religious revival. A staunch supporter of Brahminical traditions, he reintroduced Vedic rituals, including the grand Ashwamedha Yajna, a horse sacrifice symbolizing sovereign power. These acts were both spiritual and political, aimed at uniting his kingdom under the banner of Dharma. While Pushyamitra faced criticism for allegedly favoring Hindu traditions over Buddhist institutions, historical evidence suggests a more nuanced approach. Under his reign, Buddhist monuments like the Sanchi Stupa continued to flourish, indicating that the Shunga era was a complex tapestry of religious and cultural dynamics. Pushyamitra Shunga ruled for nearly 36 years, leaving behind a legacy of resilience and revival. He stabilized a fractured land, repelled external threats, and laid the foundation for a dynasty that would influence Indian history for generations. Yet, his reign was not without controversy. His policies, especially his perceived bias towards Brahminical traditions, sparked debates that echo even today. With Pushyamitra's passing, the Shunga Empire faced new challenges. His successors, including Agnimitra Shunga, had to contend with internal rebellions, the ambitions of regional powers like the Satavahanas, and the ever-looming threat of foreign invaders. How would the Shunga rulers navigate these trials? Would their empire endure, or would it succumb to the same fate as the Mauryas? In our next episode, we delve into the Shunga Empire's struggle for survival. From the rise of the Satavahanas in the south to internal divisions that threatened to tear the empire apart, the story of the Shunga successors is one of resilience, ambition, and legacy. Stay tuned as we continue our journey through the dynasties of India. The wheel of history turns, and with it, new heroes and villains emerge. Join us in the next chapter of Kings and Empires of United India.